Yeah, 모두 다 빨리 박수 쳐 기다리지 말고 서둘러 Reason that I'm back is to feed you raps and I see that you are 배불러 So fly
All right, welcome back. Steve, I want to talk about my girl Caitlin Clark and my on-again, off-end girl, Angel Reese. I'm off Angel Reese right now, but I want to describe to you the difference, and the listeners, the difference between box score and box office. And this is a very important distinction as it relates to the WNBA. The WNBA has a problem with box office. They want to focus everyone's attention on box score because they don't like the person who's bringing the box office, who's actually bringing the crowd, selling tickets, driving television ratings. Caitlin Clark is box office. The WNBA has suffered from a lack of box office. Caitlin Clark is clearly the most valuable player in the history of the WNBA. She's clearly the best rookie the WNBA has ever seen. She's clearly the rookie of the year in the WNBA halfway through. But now they want to point you to box score. And Angel Reese, she's making history. She's got 10 straight double-doubles. Oh, this is a new record, and ESPN is putting out tweets and posts, and oh, look at this. Angel Reese has made history. Look at her box score. They put out, look at this video that they put out. Look how nervous Angel Reese's mama is watching Angel Reese vie for history. Play that clip.
And mom can't stand to watch. History for Angel Reese. 10 straight double-doubles for the first time in league history in one single season.
Unbelievable. No one knows who had the record for 9 straight. No one cares. No one. Who has the record even in the NBA? Do we have any clue who's had the most consecutive double-doubles? It's a distinction. It's not a record. They're trying to draw a box score person. Angel Reese is someone you check her box score. You don't go to the games. You don't watch the games. It sounds like I'm just beating up on Angel Reese, and I know people get upset with me about that, but this is, did you see her shot chart in the fourth quarter when she was just rebounding all of her missed shots?
I mean, Jason, what is she, the female Elton Brand? And you're right. I mean, she's doing the Moses Malone. And no disrespect to Fo. I mean, but he did a lot of this where he had like 18 rebounds. And yeah, and like 9 of them were for his own misses on like 2-3 possessions. But again, no disrespect to Moses Malone. But there was.
You're actually out of context there, too. Because Moses Malone shot over 50% from the field. But go ahead.
Right, and everything was from inside the paint. But again, I know you're a big Moses Malone stan, which I kind of agree with. But here's the thing. What's that old saying from Ben Franklin? And lies, damn lies, and statistics. And the bottom line is this. Look, Angel is an effective player. But I disagree with you slightly on the fact that you only watch Angel Reese for the box score. You also watch her, because I can't get away with it because it's ubiquitous. You also watch to see how she looks going into the locker room. Okay? She's a bit of a fashion plate. I get it. She's an attractive woman. But then as soon as she steps onto the uniform, onto the court, you're like, okay, let me check back here in about 2.5 hours. Oh, I don't. I know you do. But Caitlin Clark has a game that the greatest compliment I can give it is it looks like a guy. It looks like a man's game. The quick dribble, the speed, the decisions, the vision, the passing to Edwina Scissorhands. They drop at least 4 or 5 assists a game as she's dropping more dimes than a vending machine. And Jason, you said something at the beginning. I don't know if you're gaslighting. You're kind of good at it. Did you already chisel in the name of Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year trophy? Because, Jason, what we're talking about here plays into what I'm going to bring up. This Rookie of the Year race, if you want to call it that, it'll be more contentious than the election in November. I know what they're doing here with all this double-double talk. The only time I talk about double-doubles is when I'm at In-N-Out, okay? But the fact that they're doing this leads me to believe that there is an agenda to make sure that the CNC Shot Factory does not get that award.
Making sure you have fruits and vegetables in your diet is important for maintaining a healthy diet, but it can also be difficult, especially if you're busy. The average person doesn't even eat half the recommended servings in a day. That's a huge gap in nutrition. And inflation has seriously increased the cost of fruits and vegetables. That's why Balance of Nature provides an on-the-go solution, and they haven't raised their prices for 10 years. Their proprietary blend of 31 fruits and vegetables come in easy-to-swallow capsules and will give your body so much of the nourishment it needs. Imagine trying to eat 31 different kinds of produce in a single day. Well, that's what you're getting from Balance of Nature. Fruits and veggies. When you go to balanceofnature.com, you'll get 35% off plus $10 off any additional sets with your first order as a preferred customer by using my discount code FEARLESS. That's limited to 5 sets, but you'll save a ton of money while getting the fruits and vegetables you need in your diet. Make a splash into the summer with Balance of Nature supplements. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. Use the promo code FEARLESS to get 35% off your first order, plus a free fiber and spice supplement. Hurry, this offer is only available while supplies last.
They're going to try, but at the end of the day, the Chicago Sky, they appear to be a worse team than the Indiana Fever.
Ooh.
And so Chicago's going to finish with 10, 12 victories and I don't know what it takes to make the playoffs, but I think Indiana's going to have 5 to 8 more victories than the Chicago Sky. That's going to be hard to overcome. And at some point, reality never sinks in with this group of people and their agendas, but this whole double-double thing, man, people are going to realize, like, okay, it's like when Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record, it's like we knew what Babe Ruth was. We knew who set the record. We knew what the standard was. When Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa chased down Roger Maris, we knew what the standard was. We knew who Roger Maris was. When LeBron James chased down Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we knew who held the previous record. This thing is just made up. No one knows who had the previous record. This has never been a standard in the NBA. Guys average a double-double. It was like when Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for the first time. We knew that Oscar Robertson was the last guy to do it. We're just making this whole box score thing up, and I just don't know if that's sustainable.
Jason, when one of my personal all-time favorite athletes, Eric Dickerson, in 1984, was chasing the 2,000-yard mark in the single-season record, I knew he was chasing Orenthal James Simpson at 2003. By the way, my guy Eric Dickerson, 21:05, but it took 16 games. Got to be fair about it. Now, here's the thing, Jason. Based on the style of play and the caliber of finishing or inability of the WNBA in the paint, I would argue it's much easier to get rebounds as a player of Angel Reese's size and strength than it is to get assists with girls who could not catch a cold buck naked in Antarctica. I'm just telling you, I know you can pick and choose clips. I see so many things on Twitter where Caitlin Clark will take 2 dribbles and just shoot a pass. I mean, down the court, setting up layups. And unless that ball is handed to these young ladies' hands, they're just dropping them all over. Now, look, I don't think that they're doing it on purpose. Let's get that out of the way. I just think they're that uncoordinated and that unathletic. And I really think that Caitlin Clark's numbers to a certain degree are actually underrated based on, number one, her style of play, the fact she doesn't get the ball, she doesn't get a lot of support, the coaching's been bad. And these girls, as I said, are Edina Scissorhands. They cannot catch the ball consistently.
I've actually moved off of criticizing her teammates as much because, and obviously I'm a Caitlin Clark groupie, but Caitlin Clark has to develop something other than the 27-footer because she nearly shot them out of yesterday's game in terms of her scoring droughts are very problematic, and it's because she's limited offensively to that 27-footer.
and point-blank layups. She's got to develop the rest of her game. To me, the passing, she almost had a triple-double yesterday. She's clearly the rookie of the year. She's clearly the best rookie we've ever seen in the WNBA. But there's some holes in her game. Yeah,
wow.
There's some holes in her game. Yeah, look, Steve.
Ever?
There's one thing the WNBA has needed: box office. I don't care if Asia Wilson or Lynette Woodard or whoever from the past put up better numbers or whatever. The only numbers that count is them sellout crowds everywhere, the TV ratings. People want to see Caitlin Clark, and that's benefiting the rest of the league. I can make an argument. She's the most valuable player in the league, bar none. And I don't care what Asia Wilson does. She's the rookie of the year, the most valuable player. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to the WNBA. She does need to work on her mid-range game and the development of the rest of her game, but that's small complaint.
Wow, Whitlock with some Asia hate. So here's the thing. You said something I hadn't thought about. You said females like Caitlin Clark can't really have a floater because they don't jump high enough, right?
Yeah.
You know what? So I'm going to go back to Mark Jackson, who couldn't jump over a stack of encyclopedias, like one of them. He had a bit of a floater. He had the teardrop. Now, I do think that you're right. You can't just have a game that has a Grand Canyon-sized gap where it's either going to be a long three-pointer or something at the rim. Look, anybody can shoot a fundamentally sound pull-up. Now, I know in basketball, with all the analytics, with all these people that never played the game, they don't like the two-point bucket. Never mind, most of your shots still should kind of be there. I believe that in this particular instance, number one, Caitlin Clark, for the fact she got no rest like the rest of these rookies, she coming in without an Olympic berth, she has a full off season to work on certain things like the mid-range game. But just a fundamentally sound pull-up and actually having a coach that's going to run stuff for her, that's going to accentuate her game, I'm actually interested to see how she will develop in year number 2.
Obviously, I'm interested in that as well. I'm also interested in ending this conversation with you, Steve. Thank you so much. Great job as always. We'll see you next time. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.